girls who went to the police academy. And they were each assigned very hazardous duties. But I took them away from all that, and now they work for me. My name is Charlie.
Cheryl.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
It's nice to talk to you. We got Cheryl Ladd on the line with us here at PNP Network, and it's interesting. I was kind of looking through some of my notes here about your career, and of course, we all remember when you stepped into Farrah Fawcett's shoes for Charlie's Angels as Chris Monroe. What was that like to kind of step into that role with so much pressure on you?
Well, because I wasn't sort of taking over her character, it made it much easier. Aaron and I had really talked about what kind of character I should play, and I so much wanted it to be comedic and, not full of glamour, but humor. And he agreed, and that's how we created Chris Monroe, Joe's little sister.
The little sister, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
fun.
That was an interesting time for you, I assume. And then, of course, everybody started changing in the cast, but you remained.
Yes, actually, Jacqueline did it 5 years, and I did it 4 years. So we're the veterans.
Do you ever see each other and have a little mini reunions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw Jacqueline just a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm.
What was it like to see Charlie's
and
Angels?
Tanya and I talk, and yeah.
What was it like to see the Charlie's Angels movie?
It was interesting. I thought the girls did a great job. I think they're all wonderful actors, and I admire them.
It's a tough role to step because they were always going to be compared to you guys, and that was for many of us who watched it. That was a big time in TV. Now, Aaron Spelling was the producer of that show, wasn't he?
Yes.
So he passed away recently.
Yes, this last weekend.
Yeah. Were you in contact with him at all?
I saw him a couple of years ago at a charity event. I will always be grateful to Aaron for the opportunities he provided me.
It's funny, I was doing a little research on you, and there was one show that I had no idea you were part of, and I actually saw it, which is very unusual because not many people saw it, but it was the Wow Show with Ken Berry. And you were actually billed as Cheryl Stoppelmore.
Yeah, my maiden name.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I was 19 years old.
That was an amazing little show. You had you were on there, and Terry Garr, and Steve Martin. Yeah. What was that like? It didn't last long, but...
It was just a summer replacement show. I guess they had high hopes for it, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And we all enjoyed working together, and it was a goof.
The other thing that's kind of interesting before we talk about the health aspects of this interview, that when I was looking at your research, CSI is like a huge show now.
Yeah.
But years ago in the 90s, you did a show called West Waikiki, where you actually played a forensic expert yourself.
That's right. Dr. Dawn Holliday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was again another short-lived show, but was that before its time, do you think?
I think a little before its time, yeah. And we were trying to use all the latest technologies and things, and yeah, I guess we were just a little before our time.
Yeah. Now, one of the co-stars of your show there, of that West Waikiki show, was
Richard
Paul Gleason was in there too.
That's right.
Who recently passed away.
Yeah.
And better known as the principal on the Breakfast Club to most people. Yeah. It's interesting how small the world is.
It is, and as an actor, I've been in the business now since the WOW show, really, 30-some years ago, and it's amazing you almost always run into or get to work with everybody else in the business eventually.
Right, that's true. Well, you've been playing the loving wife of James Conran in Vegas for a while.
Yes.
Las Vegas. That's a fun show.
It is a fun show. We're starting our 4th year.
Yeah. So there's one that lasted. See, they don't all last, but
No.
when you get on a show that does, it's a nice thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You've also been writing books. You wrote a book called Token Chick, A Woman's Guide to Golfing with the Boys.
That's correct.
And I guess did your husband introduce you to the game?
He did, actually. He walked in the house one day and said, "Honey, it's a beautiful day. The kids are at camp. Let's go play golf." And I looked at him like he was from Mars because I said, "You don't play golf." He said, "I know, but I'm Scottish. I think I should, and I think I'll be good at it." So off we went, and I got hooked immediately.
And Miramax Books published that book, and
Yes.
it's available still. And it's a funny look at. So you've tried your hand at comedy because it's a pretty funny book.
Thank you. Yeah, there are some pretty amusing stories in it, and I had the opportunity to play it with some wonderful pros and great people and lots of encouragement. But often I was the only female celebrity in these tournaments to raise money for charity and pro-ams and things, and hence the title, Token Chick.
I can see that. That possibly could lend itself to a videotape.
Yeah, never know.
Yeah. Now you're actually doing some educational stuff for folks
am.
about menopause. Tell us. First of all, I hate to even picture you with menopause. Because
Well,
I'm still picturing you in your 20s.
It's going to happen to all of us.
I know.
Women
I'm picturing you in your 20s.
Age, Thank you.
That's the way it all is. It's hard for me to realize I'm in my 50s as well. So
I know.
But tell us a little bit about it. For how it hit you and how you got involved.
Well, I'm involved and out here today to talk about. First of all, I want to mention the website knomenopause.com. KNOW. It's an amazing resource with great information for women, symptom assessors, information about therapies, and all kinds of things. So knomenopause.com is going to be so valuable to women. The reason I'm out talking about it is I started into perimenopause around when I was 47 years old, and I had no idea what was happening to me, what I was up against, that this had anything to do with menopause. I thought I was just losing my mind and couldn't sleep and wept all the time and wasn't feeling good and tired and skin problems, and I don't know what was happening to me. So my husband, bless his heart, finally said, "Sweetie, you aren't being you. You better go to the doctor and see what's going on." And so I found out that I was in the beginning stages of going through menopause. So he said, "Well, I want to do a bone density test on you." And I said, "Okay, great, fine. I'm sure that's going to be terrific because I exercise and I eat right and I take my calcium and I do all the things I'm supposed to do. I'm sure it'll be perfect." Well, it wasn't perfect, Mark. It was, I had already started to have some bone loss in my left hip, which is one of the things that can happen to women in this huge loss of estrogen and when you start into menopause, and these things can happen to you. And all kinds of, as a matter of fact, issues of health around this time for women. So it's so important that women captain their own ships, get good information, and really go and see your doctor. There's been a lot of fear about menopause, a lot of fear about menopausal treatments, hormone therapies, all of these things, and it's bad, it's good, it's good, it's bad, you should, you shouldn't. Women really need to get good information and good help, which knomenopause.com will help them with, and go see your doctor with good information.
So are there nice medications out there now where women can go and get treated?
There are all kinds of things. And what's right for one woman is not going to be right for the next. This is not a one-size-fits-all thing, which is why it's so essential that women know about their symptoms, about who they are, about their genetic history, their general health history, and take all of these things because you have such a limited time these days with your doctor. Anyway, so the more information you bring, the better information and help your doctor can give you.
Well, that's No Menopause, KNOW, menopause.com. Now, there's another site, talkingtoyourdoctor.com. Is that also up?
That was the initial conversation we started with women and people in our country, because we found that there was a 30% drop in women going to their doctor and talking about menopause. And we wanted to encourage women to go back and see their doctors. And now with knomenopause.com, it's the next step with our educational program for women about their general health and about health at this time in their life, and primarily about this issue of menopause. Years and years ago, Mark, women didn't live past 10, 15 years past menopause. Now we're living 20, 25, 30, and 40 years past menopause. And what we do during this time of our lives can really platform those next years being the healthiest.
Mark, we need to wrap it up, please.
So I guess that we can tell people that, especially the women out there listening, that if they want to get a little roadmap of what they need to know about menopause, they should go to nomenopause.com and go well armed to their doctor with information on their own specific case.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power. Be powerful. Captain your own health ship.
Well, Cheryl, thanks so much for joining us today on PNP Network.
My pleasure. Thank you, Mark.
Take care.